Hey everyone, Aaron here with Elite Watersports, and this video is all about self-sufficiency. And well, don't do this unless you've already had a couple good lessons underneath your belt. We just want to build you up to have confidence to go practice on your own, get out into a safe environment away from the beach. This video is all about how to get away from the beach and have some fun. All right, everybody. Today's your first day going out and practicing on your own. And we picked a day like today, Easter weekend. The beach is filled with people, but we have to understand our scenario here of knee to waist deep water. If we can only just get away from the beach, we'll be much safer. And this video is going to go on about like self-rescue, also self-launching, walking upwind so you can get away from the beach, and set some rules and some foundation, things to look for and things not to do. You can see that there's just about no room to be launching on the beach. So we're going to give you the tips and tricks to get away from the beach before you even launch your kite. The most intimidating factor about kiteboarding is just getting off the beach. And especially in this scenario where we have so many people at our local hotspot. Normally it's not like this, but it's Easter weekend, it's busy. And even if it wasn't all these other beachgoers going on, well, sometimes we have a bunch of kites on the beach. We always tell our students, let's just get away from it. Let's walk out in the water before we launch our kite. But I got a better tip and trick for you. Now, you do have to watch our videos, our other videos on self-launching. So that's what we're going to do first. We already set up our kite. We already have it rigged. Everything's proper. Lines are all entangled. We do have our bar wrapped up already, and we're going to go over and grab our kite. Main thing here is that you guys have already watched our self-launch video. If you haven't watched that video, you need to do that first. We're going to flip that kite over and then just start walking out. If we were walking out, obviously we would have our board, but for today's practice, we're going to leave that board up on the beach. Everybody's first session, they really want to go out and ride. Of course, that's what we're here for. We're kiteboarders. But today, I'm just going to show you exactly how to do it, just to get away from the beach, do a self-launch, and then walk out far away for safety. So you kind of see from the background right now, I'm a good 100 yards or so away from the beach. But our golden rule here is walk out further. Further you walk out, the more successful you'll be. So I'm going to continue walking out, and then we'll do our drift launch here in a second. All right, so now I'm starting to set myself up for success. What I'll start focusing on is starting to let some of these lines out from our bar. As long as I'm walking and I have tension on the lines, they'll keep from getting tangled up. But as soon as I stop walking and take all these lines off and they start bunching up, I'm going to have a really big problem because the lines are going to get tangled. So as I walk backwards, I'll start letting the lines out of my bar. Now remember, we have a self-launch video, a drift launch video, that will help tremendously, especially if you master that. If you're currently taking lessons, have your instructor teach you the self-launch, drift launch, so you'll be more prepared for it. All right, I currently have all my lines out, and that's when I'm going to go ahead and hook up my chicken loop, my chicken stick, and my leash. So 1, 2, 3. I'm still walking a little bit to keep tension on those lines so I don't have any tangles in them. Now, this video is not about the whole drift launch, but I have pretty much everything set up. I have my leash on, my chicken loop. I do another check I can see that my chicken loop got loose again. I'm going to check that. I want my kite to go left, so I kind of orient the kite to the left and let it start drifting downwind. I'm looking for any kind of tangles. The beauties behind this is look how much distance I have from the beach. I'm a good couple 100 yards. I'm not in that very intimidating setting. My kite is now set up to relaunch. No tangles in the line. If there were tangles, I would eject. I can walk that kite to the edge of the window. I don't have other riders riding by. I'm not in the highway where other riders could be going back and forth. I've walked upwind. On a busier day with riders out here, you'd see a lot of them just riding in front of the beach. I definitely don't want to be in that highway. I want to be upwind from all those riders. I've relaunched my kite. Now I can go ahead and start practicing whatever I had as a goal for the day. Whether it just be flying the kite, doing body drags, one-handed body drags, whatever the case may be, or if you feel confident enough to get on a board, let's go for a ride. So now that we've launched our kite, and we're way away from the beach, and maybe we want to take a break, or maybe things aren't working out and we want to get further upwind. Sometimes people struggle with flying the kite, holding a board, walking upwind the whole entire time, and that's going to wear you out. Maybe it's super windy out and walking is just a real struggle. What I suggest some students to do, as long as there's not a lot of riders around, is that we can land the kite in the water. And most kites on the market these days will sit on the edge of the window. And if they do, without any kind of maintenance, then you'll actually be able to walk upwind or downwind, getting back to your board wherever you need to go. If you notice, that kite just follows me wherever I want to go. Even if I were to go downwind, no big deal. The kite will actually follow me downwind. It just drifts. So it's a good way to take a break. Kind of just relieve all that stress or tension on the lines, fix your harness, fix your board, and then you can go back to your practice rather than ejecting, grabbing your kite, and going right back upwind and having to do that drift launch all over again. So just land the kite and walk up. Now, let's be real here, right? So if you've already taken a bunch of lessons and you're already riding, sure, but, not all of us are in perfect physique to go out and practice on our own, especially if we're not staying upwind just yet. This video is to give you some confidence to go out and practice and get some self-discovery down. Whether you're in your late 60s and 70s and out of shape, being in your late 60s and 70s, this is going to wear out even a 30-year-old, especially a 30-year-old that's out of shape. So by using our tools and knowing that our kites can sit here on the edge of the window to relieve some of that tension so we're not expelling so much energy, and we can save that energy for our practice, our goals for the day. If things are still getting a little bit more like tension on the lines, the kite's still pulling us, it's super windy out, well, you can go ahead and just eject the kite. And of course, it's on that side of the window, so it's going to tumble. But now we can even do the same thing. We're taking up a lot of real estate, so you want to make sure other riders are in the area, jet skiers, riders, and you're certainly not down in the highway where other people are riding, but you can walk upwind just like this. After you find yourself way upwind, you can go ahead and put everything back together. This bar doesn't have a stop, so the bar does slide all the way up to the kite. No big deal. And I'm in a controlled environment. I can just walk towards the bar instead of having to pull the whole kite up to me. Re-engage everything. Put that chicken loop back in. Chicken stick, however you want to call it. Go back into your relaunch. By using your eject over and over again, it becomes more of a tool rather than just strictly for safety. Everybody has a mindset that their eject is just for safety, and we have a video on that to kind of change your mindset. You should use it as a tool just as much as the ability to have it for safety. And got our kite back launched. Now we can go out further if we feel comfortable flying the kite and walking. So maybe you've heard of it, maybe you haven't, but the walk of shame. And I feel like that saying is a little harsh. Walks of shame, that's where you get pulled back to the beach. And you got to walk back upwind and you're doing these like mini downwinders back and forth conveyor belt. That's going to be time consuming. It's going to wear you out. By using these techniques, it's going to help you out tremendously to conserve that power when you first put that board on, so you can be fully energized, ready to go. As we get closer to the beach, obviously we got to go back in at some point or another. And we don't want to go landing this kite on the beach. Why not do a self-rescue? So as you find yourself at the end of your lesson and you really want to like get back to the beach, instead of risking being on a populated beach with everybody all around and stuff, use your tools. Go ahead and eject, initiate a self-rescue, then walk back on the beach like a pro. So we just finished our session and now it's time to go in. We're going to do the same thing in reverse, and we're going to initiate a self-rescue as we get closer to the beach. If you still don't feel comfortable getting closer to the beach, stay out here and do your self-rescue. But in this case, I'm going to go ahead and body drag back to the beach. You know what? This is a perfect example. I was going to body drag a little closer to the beach, but I'm starting to see all these jet skiers going by. It's Easter weekend. Not a lot of kiters on the beach to help me out. Well, we don't want to go up there. We just stay out here. Let's go ahead and self-rescue. So it's certainly a lot easier just to go ahead and do a self-rescue out there instead of getting all up in this chaos. And you know what? Everything went well today. I was able to practice what I wanted to do. I was able to go out on my own and be able to come back to the beach. Although maybe possibly I wasn't staying upwind, but I knew my surroundings. I knew how safe it was with the knee to waist deep water. And I got myself out of harm's way, which is busy up on the beach. The beach is the most intimidating spot. Let's get away from it so we can have a nice clear conscience and just focus on what we're doing for the day. This is Aaron with Elite Watersports, and hopefully this helps you and builds some confidence in your development with kiteboarding. And remember, just flying a kite is amazing. You don't have to go out with your board. Just go fly a kite for the day and practice all this stuff that we've taught you in all the different videos we've created. This is Aaron with Elite Watersports, and we'll see you on the water.